Music.
Brick by brick by brick by brick by brick.
I own 100% of Barstool Sports. The sun, the moon, the Milky Way. It is getting so close, I can taste it. We can take a bite out of it. This is exactly, and I mean exactly, why Barstool Sports has to exist. It has to.
All right, we are live at Barstool, New York headquarters. It is November 13th. Happy birthday to the one and only Frank the Tank. Make some noise for Frank. Now, we were
Happy birthday to
Of course, he's coming over here.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday, dear Tank. Happy birthday to you.
You're welcome.
Come on, grab a stick mic. Now, wait, before, I'm sure you have something for us, but before you do that, we were just trying to guess your age. And I think you are a weird one where I don't think your age is very tellable.
I thought you were 43.
I think I said mid-40s, 40. You're older than Dave? Or younger than Dave?
I'm older than Dave.
Ah, I thought you were gonna be 44. You're older than Dave, so you're 46?
Nope.
48?
Yes.
Wow. In a crazy twist, I think you look great, Frank.
Frank, I don't
you look good.
48 at all.
I was born 3 days after the sinking of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait,
An
easy way to remember. Yeah. What is the deal with the Edmund Fitzgerald?
I have no fucking clue.
I don't even know what
Oh,
that
it's a
is.
big thing. It's been all over the
It was a
internet.
big freighter ship, and it had a
What do you mean it's
bunch of iron ore, and it was heading for Cleveland.
And why is this a big deal? 'Cause I saw a bunch of posts about it this weekend.
like the anniversary of it?
There is
Yeah.
a legendary song by Gordon Lightfoot.
That's what it is. Okay.
Okay.
And
How's it go?
Oh, yeah. I know that one.
The big lake they call Gitchagumi. It's November, they say, when the winds turn gloomy.
Yeah.
Got it. That's a classic. It's a classic.
Yes.
The song, the posts I saw referenced the song, so it's all coming together now.
So it's a classic song. The Edmund Fitzgerald sunk on November 10th, 1975.
What did you do anything for your birthday this weekend?
Not really. I'll probably go. I'm doing the walks and stuff.
The walks are great, man. You're looking like
Yeah.
you're trimming down. Can I maybe just offer some unsolicited advice? If you crack down on 10 sodas a day, bro, the pounds will fall off.
That's all I drink.
Easier said than done, I guess.
Like, what about?
Thank you very much. Noted. No.
Can you do? Yeah. What about like Coke Zeros and diets?
Oh, I do a lot of it's diets.
Okay.
I would say about 70% is diets.
Okay, then that's actually drink as many as you fucking want.
Can you tell us the story behind the video of the sheriff getting out and paying his
So
respects
good,
to
dude.
you?
I think it might have been someone that I probably saw at the courthouse once or twice. And I was walking.
Or you're just an international celebrity. Wait, you thought that was someone who personal? Like, I think that's just.
This was in
someone who-
Jersey, like by your town?
Yeah.
Frank, if you don't know, Frank's been going on walks every day, almost
Yep.
every day, and the guys, Jenks and the guys, speed it up so you can like basically watch him do his whole walk. And of course, as he's walking around this pond, this cop pulls up and hops out, and it's like, it's like meeting the Pope.
And of course, I was on to a Devil game. The Devil season's been ruined because Zach Hughes is hurt. And Jack Hughes being hurt, just darkness everywhere.
Jet season's over, so I'm with you on that.
Happy
bro.
birthday, Frankie.
You sound like your voice.
Darkness
Were you
everywhere.
screaming a lot? Lose your voice from screaming too much?
Sometimes. My voice has been kind of hoarse since Friday's game where the Devils gave the puck away like it was candy.
Oh.
And Brendan Smith, who might just be the worst player in NHL history, he just continues to give the puck away, knock his own teammates over.
There he is. Look at you're swimming in that jersey, bro. You're looking so trim.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Here's the guy.
Legend.
Where's this, out in Jersey?
He was on his
near
way
you?
to an armed robbery.
How much are you walking? Is there?
Typically an hour or two a day, depending on
lot.
the day. I'm
great, man.
going for 10,000 steps.
Yeah.
Depending, I try to find someplace interesting to walk around.
It looks like that. You were walking in some. There was some waterfall or some shit that looked.
That's the Great Falls of
scenery.
Patterson.
Looked very Like a nice walk. So keep it up, man.
Is Jenks living with you? I saw on the dozen the other day. He was like right next to you.
We were going to a Devil game that night.
Gotcha.
Walk me through the Jenks. Did Jenks? Did you know Jenks prior or no?
No.
So he approached you, and was he like, as a businessman, like let me be like your guy, your producer, your manager,
it just
your everything?
flowed over. He invited me to a Knicks game. We started hanging out. I invited him to a Mets game. Misery.
Misery.
Devils games. I got him in contact with Stu. He's gone over to Stu's a lot.
Give me your. I know oddly you have this weird curveball being a Dolphins fan, but for the rest of us in New York, just give us your assessment of the Jets. Misery.
Zach Wilson is horrible.
Frank, can you believe that I still have to deal with motherfuckers telling me how good he is?
He made some throws last night. Seriously, that one no-look pass and the one like jump pass, I was like, this guy, he's got it.
You know what? It seems like
The Jets are one or two lucky bounces.
What?
Drives in the hurry up.
The Jets are one or two lucky bounces away from being like 2-8.
Yeah, I mean it is. I cannot believe there are people telling me that Zach Wilson is good.
I mean, they almost lost to Tommy
that
DeVito.
it's not his fault. Like
They almost lost to Tommy DeVito.
What would have happened if Zach Wilson lost to Tommy DeVito and the Giants, who had -8 yards passing? Would you have told me that Zach Wilson is good then?
By the way,
Drove them down the field at the end of that game.
Last night he made the no-look pass, and he probably had like 3 other passes that were good.
Hail Mary at the end was impressive.
This is what I'm talking
Anthony
about.
Beckton knocked it
was
away
an
from
almost
Garrett
Hail
Wilson.
Mary. Like one time Zach Wilson threw the ball far, and he made like 3 other good passes, and people are like, that's all you need. He hasn't scored a touchdown in like 8 games.
Low
I have
standards.
Low standards, zero standards.
Getting back to Tommy DeVito, I actually live on the street that says Tommy DeVito way.
Tommy DeVito's the fucking
It honestly might be.
man.
I love him.
He lives in New Jersey.
Tommy DeVito is.
It's named after the guy.
fucking-
It's named after one of the founders of the Four Seasons.
Well, it's about to be
Jersey
this
boys.
new Tommy DeVito, because he is the fucking man. I think.
Well,
No.
he's awful, but
No,
he is cool.
He is.
But he
the
lives at home,
man.
and that's cool.
I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. I'm saying he's the man. This dude has no business being on the field. And then he's got to go play against the Dallas Cowboys, where he is getting fucking ripped to pieces. And he just keeps getting up there like, well, I don't know. I'm the quarterback. I got to keep doing it.
I said on Twitter, I said, where's Liam? Liam was giving me shit. Other people, I was like, if Tommy DeVito was good right now, it would be like the greatest
story in the world.
Like he's like this Italian
Jersey
from New
kid,
Jersey,
Lives at home with his mom and
living at home
dad.
with his parents, and on the weekends he's going out and this is not happening, but if it was, like winning football games for the
But we got
Giants.
So my thing is just him simply playing in the games.
He'll get a free beer anywhere in the country the rest of his life for that.
He's a 25-year-old Italian guy from New Jersey who just got into the working world. All of them live at home. He just happens to be doing it in the National Football
Or they live
League.
in Hoboken with 4 other people.
Right. He just happens to be doing it on the New York fucking Football Giants. And like, it was actually, I watched that whole game, and it was so funny listening to Greg Olson call that game. And he was so right. He was like, this is the longest 45 seconds in NFL.
You watched the whole Giants?
The whole fucking
Oh, see, I didn't watch. I put Red Zone
He's
on.
a Jersey
I was like,
boy,
I
too.
am not
Yes.
subjecting
But
myself.
he was like,
Actually,
I was playing video game. I wasn't like dialed
Actually,
in, but-
he's Cedar Grove is practically like maybe 1 or 2 towns over
Greg
from
Olson's,
Wayne.
Greg Olson's from?
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, this is the longest 45 minutes of my life. Someone please end this game. And I was like thinking about it. I'm like, how do you think Tommy DeVito feels? Where he like it was so.
You think he was
the
just
game
soaking it up, or was he like a whole?
Well,
what the fuck?
I mean,
Probably not when he's getting like hit.
He got up one time, and I don't know which arm it was, but he was like the arm was dead, and he was standing under center like, like, and it was like, you know,
He did throw a
obviously a
touchdown.
huge, but he got the touchdown. I was like, that's fucking awesome that guy stayed in
I
there,
know, wow.
got the touchdown, and goes home to mom and dad to eat the cutlets and hop into a bed that his mom made.
Do you have any leftovers?
Yeah, I mean, it's like that.
Well, the worst thing about being Tommy DeVito is he has Evan Neal on his team.
I mean,
14
the
of
worst-
27, 86 yards.
The worst thing about being Tommy
Almost
DeVito
impossible.
How many sacks?
like 6.
5.
Yeah, he was.
One interception.
I always think
You
about
know-
that with like when I saw like a sports science when ESPN did that like every sack, maybe not every sack, but most sacks are
like the force of a car.
the force of a car
It's like a
accident.
40-mile-an-hour car accident if you get just like sacked
Slam.
clean.
And it's like, can you imagine going home, Tommy DeVito, and it's like, babe, how was work today? You're like, fine. I got in 5 car accidents.
Yeah, right.
Like, his mom probably puts ice.
You'd be like, what?
Yes. Dude, his mom is probably like, rubbing him, and here's.
He's not used to either. So for him, it's like he's actually getting hit. You can't brace for that kind of hit. Like
There actually should be, because what I really feel bad for him is there is no pot of gold. He's not gonna. It's not like it's like, oh, I'm the starter now and I'm gonna get big money.
Yeah.
There should be like a slush fund in the NFL that's like a thank you fund. like the commissioner needs to be like, if it wasn't for Tommy DeVito, the Giants wouldn't have had a quarterback on Sunday. You gave us a product of Giants. Cowboys, here's like $1 million cash.
Well, I'm sure he'll be in the USFL.
Yes,
with like
big
New
time.
Jersey Italian delis.
I'm
like
sure-
Marcios or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure after his Giants stint ends, he'll get a little
Car dealership?
in the USFL.
I mean, he probably could go play one of those leagues. He should go sell cars or do something where it's like, I'm Tommy DeVito from the New York Giants. Come buy a car down at,
no
Red
credit,
Bank.
no
Remember how
problem.
weird
Yeah,
that was?
yeah, that was crazy. There's definitely like guys in his high school
what
class
he-
who
what
are
he
like,
should do is
Tommy
he's-
wasn't even that good in high school. What's going on?
You should open up a hamburger restaurant so Evan Neal has a job.
Nice. Adam Neal is awful.
Yeah, you said
should
it
be
best,
the-
the Giants put out maybe the worst football team. Like
I think
of all
there's a
time.
legitimate shot that was the worst collection of football players a football team has ever fielded.
I mean, having Tommy
In the NFL.
DeVito, he probably shouldn't even be a backup, let alone like starting football
No.
games. It's like it's downright dangerous. Is what they're
But
doing.
like he should start the rest of the season just because the Giants should be tanking.
Right, but like
They're risking
but, like,
his life.
Yes,
But I'm
Like
sure
his
he'd
physical,
sign up for
he's at physical danger.
He would, but I think sometimes you need to protect people from themselves and be like, Tommy, you might not walk out of here. You might not walk out of this game.
Like if you had a chance to start for the Giants, would you do it? Just
No,
to say you did?
right? That's a great. I said it's
Well,
like.
no, but he's
I
more
would.
capable than I am.
Right,
But I'm saying just
You know
to
what
say
it is?
you did it, like would you
It
take
is-
that risk?
It is akin. I said it's a jackass skit. It would be like Steve-O is going to be a quarterback for the day. And he's just going to get fucking rocked, and it's just like, it's pros versus Joes out there. And yes, of course, he's better than like Tommy, but it is a little bit like Micah Parsons on the same fucking field as Tommy DeVito right
it's
now.
crazy.
Dude, next Sunday.
Who are they playing?
Patriots.
Oh boy.
That should get flexed.
I mean, the Patriots are a light.
That's a Sunday game
That's crazy.
No, I'm saying it should get.
Yeah, that's like a crazy,
That should be the Sunday night game.
because
the worst game
if they
ever.
put that on Sunday Night Football, then that's akin to torture.
Dude, that taking out homeboy on the final drive, I guess there's, the logic behind it of like, we got one last shot and we know it's not going to be with you. But it's also such a kick in the fucking dick to be like, you played this whole game,
Bro.
and now you're out. And then dude gets in and tries to do the fake. If you fake spike, you almost have to score a touchdown, let alone like complete a pass. If you fake a spike and then throw a pick, you are the biggest asshole on the planet.
The reaction shots of all the Patriots on that was like,
Yeah. What the fuck? Now,
And-
to be
and-
fair, I also do respect the idea of like, fuck it, let's just
Let it rip.
I now believe firmly that Bill Belichick is going to be fired at the end of the year. Or
There's
I don't know about that. I don't know about
There is
that.
no chance that happens.
I don't say no chance.
Fired?
I
even
think,
if
resign.
There is
But there
no
is no
chance he gets
tired.
fired.
I think there's a good chance he might get traded or something like that. There are.
You think he would coach another team? He wouldn't just be like, I'm done?
Yes, he desperately wants to beat. I think I've heard Shula's record.
And that's why I want him to lose
what, like
and
total
lose
wins?
every game
He's like
possible.
14 games.
I'm stunned.
Don
he didn't
Shula
have-
is the king. You don't come at the king.
He's also next year, I believe, would be his 50th year as a coach in the NFL.
By the way,
a coach. Which
by the way, tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of Don Shula breaking George Halas's record, with Doug Peterson coming onto the field as the third string quarterback after Scott Mitchell got hurt.
Oh, how does your brain remember all this stuff?
Sports Encyclopedia.
But do you like? Can you remember all sorts of stuff or just sports?
I have some other things, but sports is probably
You remember
my-
stuff about your life?
here and there.
Is it because you read a lot about sports or because your brain just retains everything?
My brain retains a lot. I remember that day I had to work at A&P collecting the carts in the shopping, and every 5 minutes I'd stop and call sports phone to see what the Dolphin score was.
Wow. That's That's a picture right there. It's like some Norman Rockwell Americana.
Why is this guy returning the carts yelling?
Well, happy birthday, dude.
Oh, thanks.
Frank.
Today's episode is brought to you by Stacker2. Everybody's going to get jacked up for Frank's birthday. We need to make sure that we all have our energy up there. So we got our Stacker2 Energy Chews and our Energy Shots. They are the presenting sponsor of Barstool Radio. Really? In the middle of the ad read like that? Unbelievable, Meek.
Disgusting.
Show some professionalism.
That's the small.
You and I are done professionally.
You sip this?
These bad boys are the motherfuckers of energy gummies. They are the extreme energy gummies, which means it's a 6-pack of nuclear nectar, which is portable, which means you can bring it anywhere you want, put it in your pocket. You have a 6-pack, take one in the morning, noon, afternoon, evening, nighttime, all day, every day to keep that energy up. Or you can drink the energy shot, which has 10,000% of your daily value of vitamin B12. You got the caffeine, you got some natural extract of bark that gets the job done. So it gives you that extra boost whenever you need it. Fits right in your pocket. You can carry them and take them anywhere, from work to play and everywhere in between. Go to stacker2.com/Barstool for the Barstool Bite Back Special. You get $5 off your purchase or $5 worth of free product at stacker2.com/Barstool. I can't. Watching the Jets, it's an official console last night. That was a console event.
What if Rodgers comes back?
So last night was like the first thing I've seen, at least, that was like a somewhat official report or number where he said he'll be back in mid-December, or that's what he's shooting for. I don't think he is gonna. I mean, I can't. I mean, medically, anything's possible with this dude. I think he will come back faster than any human ever has. It's just how much faster. But you know, the Jets are not going to win these next few games. Like, they're losing everybody. So you're going to come back in mid-December when you know the team. They've also lost 2 very important conference games in a row. So even if they like start to make moves, their schedule. Their head-to-head schedule and all that sort of tiebreaker shit is not in their favor. So unless he like somehow is good, healthy, like the doctor is like, this is as good as it is now, as it will be from 6 months from now, I wouldn't risk it.
I saw people though being like, it would almost be a
Also, the
Christmas
NFC
gift to Jet fans, like 1 game of Aaron Rodgers, just to be like, oh, all right, he's alive, like he could do this next year.
I mean, yeah,
But
listen,
it's
if
also
that's
like,
the
is
goal,
that worth the risk?
Yeah.
He's coming back next year no matter what. It's almost like not worth it.
I would, yeah, if that was me, I would be like, I would have a press conference where I explain, like, I'm back, I'm healthy, I don't want to risk it.
Right. I'll
Like,
see it week 1.
But like, I am good, yeah, you know, I'm back. Like, that could be the present, is people were like, maybe it only lasts 1 year, and he can officially be like, no, I'm back, and we're going to run it back. I just wish everybody in the world, I wish everybody judged me the way that Jets quarterbacks get judged sometimes. It's like, it's the offensive line, it's the play calling, it's the penalties, it's everybody else. It's never the quarterback's fault until we move on from the quarterback, and then everyone goes, yeah, that guy sucked too. We've done it with everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I've done it with every coach. We did it with Rex Ryan. That team was penalized and sloppy. We got Todd Bowles, and I was told he was going to be the second, you know, the next big thing in the NFL. Still got penalized, still played sloppy. Heard the same thing about Saleh. He was supposed to be the next guy that changed the culture. Same fucking thing, penalties every single play. And same thing with quarterback. It's the same. It is literally the same fucking
Why can't
thing.
they
I
just
can't
snap out
do
of
it anymore.
Like, how come they can't figure it out?
Because they're not, it's never the right hire. It's those guys come in and they say they're going to do it, and they're just never the right people to do it. As I'm getting older, I can't do it. Like, I can't do it. I need another 25-year-old Jets fan to do it like I did it in 2009, because I'm like, I've seen this before 3 times. It's not even just like, oh, I've seen, you know, this happened once before. It's like this happened like 10 times before with every coach and every quarterback. And I can't keep like screaming and yelling.
Adam Gase year?
Yeah, oh my
Isn't there
God.
peace in the predictability though? Like, don't you know what you're
Well,
gonna
that's what
get?
I mean. Like at this point, like I can't. I guess what I
Your hopes are
my like job at this point, I feel like, and this is always kind of the thing at Barstool. I felt like you don't cover the team, you cover the fans almost. You know what I mean? It's like leave the X's and O's to these guys. You're talking about what are the fans talking about and doing, and that's always kind of been the way I've approached the job. But even that is like I'm not mad at the Jets as a team this year. Like they got totally fucked with Aaron Rodgers, and the playmakers are making, like Garrett Wilson's still fucking incredible. Breece Hall is still great. Like the guys who are good are good, and the guys who are bad are bad. What else do you want me to do? But the fans are still driving me so insane that there are people who are just like, Zach Wilson threw a couple good passes yesterday. Why are you?
I mean, I'm not a Jet fan. I'm
right. But like there are Jets fans who are legitimately and if other people are bad around you, that absolves you from all blame. I would love if people were like, KFC's podcast sucked, and someone was like, well, what about this podcast and that podcast and this is like that doesn't mean I don't suck. You know what I mean?
I was feeling the same way with Daniel Jones, where it's like eventually like you have to be the reason a team wins. Like it's okay to not be the reason they lose for a while, but eventually like take that next step and become the reason that your team is winning.
And or you got to be Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson. You got to like win a fucking Super Bowl as the game manager. Eventually, it can't be. You cannot have a quarterback in the NFL that doesn't score touchdowns.
Yeah, that's fair.
Pretty
simple but true.
Pretty open and shut. And I got guys like defending him, like. I will absolutely admit he's not the only problem, but guys, and then it is weird when it's. I mean, all roads lead back to the hurry-up offense. Me and Feitelberg have been beating this drum. Fights is like everybody should just never no huddle all the time. Every offense flows better. Every single time. You at the very least move the ball better. Maybe you don't get the touchdown. Maybe the clock runs out. But it's always like they're gonna go no huddle, hurry-up offense here. And it's like bang, 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 bang.
Patriots never didn't score in hurry up for Brady's entire. We
like,
never didn't score.
I like remember when it like clicked. I think it was like 08, 09. It was a Bills game. Maybe it was even a little after that. It was a Bills game where they were in their reds. They were in the red jerseys. And I think maybe it was a Ben Watson touchdown. And I was like, they should do that every
time. And I mean, I understand it's different.
Fatigue,
like defenses play you different, and they're not trying to give up the big pass. Like there's a whole bunch of shit.
It's also that why don't the defenses just play
that way all the
how they should be?
Yes, right. It's like do the opposite of that.
Like that Jets game last night. Like I didn't watch a ton of football yesterday. I couldn't watch the Pats game, which was crazy.
Yeah, that was weird.
It's just.
Are they just so bad they're not on locally or something?
It was like my parents' house is in the Providence market, which is because like everyone's like it's on ABC.
It was on NFL Network.
But they don't.
But New England is like that whole.
Also, like I think because I'm in New England, it would have been blacked out anyway. So I just couldn't find it locally. It wasn't on.
No, because it was only on NFL Network. Like it wasn't on.
No, locally it's on. Your team's on locally.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. So like in the Boston market, it was on Channel 6, and my parents aren't on like the Boston market TVs. They're on Providence. So like I just couldn't find it. Whatever. It is still fucking crazy that like
crazy.
It's like
in Providence.
Yeah.
I'm like those aren't real channels.
Yeah.
What's the channel?
Yeah. Don't tell me. Do not
Get a fire stick.
Do not ever tell me to go to Fubo. Unless they want to sponsor us one day or something. Yeah. Fubo and Tubi are made up words.
What is the one that Jury Duty was on? Freebie?
But that was Amazon. Yeah. It was on Amazon Prime, and they're like, it's called Freebie. I'm like, just call it Amazon Prime.
We will look back in the future. We will look back on this time and be like, they ruined television.
They will laugh at us. They will laugh at us.
For what reason did we do all of this? Why did we make up all this fucking nonsense and all these apps you have to download and all this fucking shit you have to sign up for? Just put it on TV.
You know what these
is a good old-fashioned monopoly.
Like just for real. Let like Warner Brothers Media or somebody
Give
just fucking
Comcast
own it
more
all.
power.
Yeah. Dude, Fubo and Tubi, those sound like Bill Belichick joking, being like, I don't know, who's on one of those channels. Hulu or Fubo or Tubi, they're real. It's crazy.
But anyway, I got home in time to watch second quarter on of Jets Raiders, and I was like, this sucks. And like 10 minutes ago in the fourth quarter, it turned into a football game.
That's what happens.
Both teams were fucking in a hurry up.
But that also happens with. It's very funny watching nationally televised games with the internet because those are Jets games. Jets games are 9-6, 6-3 for many, many quarters, and then get exciting at the end because it is two evenly shitty teams playing sloppy.
But it's not.
And then they get cooking because they just start, like, they stop thinking and they just start playing.
But I thought about that. It wasn't just because I don't like. I hate when the people, if you're like, this sucked, and like, oh, well, one on a field goal. Like, close doesn't mean it was good.
Correct.
Close doesn't mean entertaining. And I was thinking
It can mean
about
exciting,
that.
though.
It can't, but while they were playing better too.
Yeah.
They were driving the ball. And
Yes.
it was
making like 30-yard passes.
You were watching, you're like, oh, this is football happening here. and it stopped.
Well, that was always my
That
thing with
one Mac
Rodgers.
Jones interception was.
I'm talking
That was-
strictly Raiders. I didn't see that game.
Oh, you're talking about Raiders.
Dude,
I'm talking Raiders.
but the Mac Jones interception, I said, I mean, I'm pretty sure that, you know, Belichick taking him out is pretty much, I think, the signal of it's over.
Yeah.
But if it's not, and if people are still debating in New England and there are fans on the Mac Jones, if there is not, let me just jump in real quick. As a guy who has watched this 4 or 5 times now, that interception is it.
Yeah.
If you are still making that mistake in that spot, how many years in? It's over.
It's what I don't know what happened.
And Zach Wilson made this almost the same exact one later that night. It's the same shit.
With Mac, watching Mac to start the season, 'cause I had a few tweets. I was like, oh shit, something happened in the Jets game, halftime of the Jets game, because they were moving the ball for that was the 3rd game of the season, fourth game of the season, something like that. And he played well the first 3. He played well that first half. And then something happened at halftime, and they stopped going for it. And from then, it's been an absolute disaster.
You wonder, like, if you forget that these people, like Tommy DeVito kind of reminded me, like, these guys are, some of them are human, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I don't know, maybe something literally happened, like a fucking fight in the locker room, or the coach said something to you, or you lost your confidence, and it's like, that was the reason why.
My eyes open. Did you see that Mac Jones video where he was talking to the reporter who was bald?
No.
See if we could pull that up or something. It's like the reporter said something like bawling, and Mac Jones is like, "You mean balding?" or like something, and then he gave just like a very dumb laugh, or like it was like he thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, Mac Jones just like kind of like a dumb frat guy.
Yeah.
Like then it was like I
it
don't
clicks.
know why I thought I was like, oh, like he went to Bama, like he's just kind of like a frat dude.
Yeah.
And then it's like now that I'm seeing him in this light, it kind of makes sense.
He doesn't necessarily scream
Wait,
football
let's-
IQ.
Yeah, there's the bald head.
Mac, what with this type of trip, what can it do for the team in terms of bonding and maybe just a good type of distraction?
that
Sorry.
is. Yo.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
When was this?
This looks like now. This is like they're in Germany.
Bro, that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what that is? That is. That's Howard Dean. Yeah. It's over. That can't be the same thing. Zach Wilson on draft night, when everyone was joking around that he looks like a little boy. I was like, but he does. And I'm sure he walks in the locker room and a bunch of guys go, who the fuck is this guy who's supposed to be? And even the Tommy DeVito thing, I think it makes perfect sense that he lives with his parents. But like, when that story gets written and you show up in the locker room and you're like, let's go, men, and it's like, you live with your mom and dad.
Yeah.
Made you an omelet this morning.
It's like
Got dropped off.
There was that phase where
Out of the
we
minivan.
made fun of girls for the ick.
Yep.
And like,
It's
and
over.
you could actually not trace that back, but like back to like when Moneyball came out, and everyone was like, "These guys are so dumb. They think they can't be good at baseball because he's got an ugly girlfriend." Like when you get the ick about a player, it's usually kind of right.
over,
You know,
dude.
like again, I don't know. There's just something about him that doesn't. Yeah, you're right. You can show me the fucking. Who's the fucking sidearm pitcher that they had? Who's greatly undervalued by all of baseball. What was it?
Chad Bradford.
Chad Bradford. You get, but there's something off about him that he's not going to win us a fucking World
Well,
Series.
that's the thing. You can be like that. Moneyball and those things are great for like. He's a great kicker. He's a great, middle reliever. Like these little spot starts in sports. To be like the quarterback, you got to be the quarterback. You got to be the man. You got to be awesome. You got to be, all that shit. Even the guys who aren't good were respected or like somewhat feared or whatever you want to say. These guys are not it. And I'm saying it from I'm a bag of bones on a couch. I get that I'm not any of these things either, but well, we can't be still having the same argument.
I think analytics went too far for a while.
Oh, their analytics have gone way too far.
But I think there's been a.
Tommy's just saying that because the Yankees suck.
I mean, it's
Yankees
crazy.
suck at analytics too, so that's the
Yes,
problem.
they suck at everything about analytics. But analytics, like, it is like so. The fact that people think batting average is like the most useless stat in the world is crazy. Meek Phil's probably one of those.
Yeah, that's.
Literally, how often you get a base hit is like, that doesn't fucking matter. It's like, that kind of matters.
That really matters. That also, people who tell me that clutch isn't a thing,
Yeah, that's.
just like I
That's
can't.
also like, I'm also the nerd, but like, it's really like the nerds being like, well, actually, clutch doesn't matter. It's like, no, talk to a player who'd be like, no, there's like something mental there.
If you have ever just been in a position at work where you or anything in life where you're like, I need to perform a task.
Right.
And you get nervous about it, and so you do it like poorly, you rush it, you fumble over it, like, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Imagine that at the plate, bottom of the ninth, game 7. You're like shaking. Other guys aren't. That fucking matters. Now, if it's like, A-Rod isn't clutch, so like don't fucking sign him to your team because he had a bad series, like that I get is stupid. But the guys who do it time and time again, it is not a fluke. There is a reason.
I remember in Poppy's heyday, people were like, David Ortiz actually is like the least clutch player on the Red Sox. And I was like, you're like the dumbest person in this room.
Was there a stats that like
I'm sure they had some stat somewhere.
Well, it's like Mariano Rivera has a bunch of blown saves in the playoffs too. It's like he's always fucking there.
They greered the numbers. They made it seem like he was bad.
Dude, Poppy is, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you see even on they had the Fox NFL guys versus the MLB guys, the analysts. It was like Jeter, A-Rod, and Poppy, with Strahan and whoever pitching to them. And like even just something as simple as that, Jeter and A-Rod looked like they've never touched a baseball bat in their life. It was like a wiffle ball. And they were swinging and missing and like falling over, and Poppy just fucking roped it. And he said something, it was like, everyone was
Jeter's clutch.
Yeah, but in that moment it was just funny. It was like even Poppy's like still showing these guys how to do it, even in like a fucking studio.
Dude, it is crazy seeing old players do like the Hockey Hall of Fame this weekend. And Peter Forsberg got on the ice and had like a breakaway against Hank Lundqvist. And I was like, oh my God.
They're ancient.
Peter Forsberg can barely skate anymore. Peter Forsberg was like my guy.
Well, I feel especially bad for hockey because you got to get back on the ice. You probably don't get on the ice like ever again when you retire from hockey. I watched the Mets had like a old timers game. What was that? A couple years ago? 2 years ago, and it was like, for the first time they really got all the stars to come back.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man. Even the guys who were like, haven't been retired that long it's like, you guys have nothing anymore, nothing in the tank. Well, everyone is.
Are we getting shaken down right now?
What just happened?
No.
You guys all.
No, we're fine. I was confused for a second.
Who is that?
I know, but I forget.
Liam's dying laughing. Liam.
These are just.
Let's just do this.
Let's just go.
Yeah.
It is very funny how much that affected this whole room.
We are not professional.
No. The show was single-handedly derailed by one person walking by.
I'm looking at you, and you guys were like this. Who's that guy? I was like, are we about to get beat up or something? What's happening? So speaking of like football fandom and whatnot here at Barstool, I cannot believe that Dave Portnoy once again has, like, he's the leader of a movement in football once again. It's the best thing that can happen to you as a content creator. It's the best thing that can happen to you as a fan of a team, as long as you are good. If you're the Astros, if you're the Patriots, now Michigan football, like, I can't believe this fell in his lap. And it's once the Patriots are bad. Dave used to be like, hey, Michigan got blown up by 50. And he'd go, I don't care about college. I'm a professional guy. Now, if you talk about how bad the Patriots are, he's like, I'm busy, winning a national title with Michigan. It's the same thing. There's a cast of characters. There's an infraction that most regular people go like, I don't really think that's cheating. But the nerds are like, yes, it is.
Right.
It is the perfect thing for a Barstool blogger to be like, to rally the troops. Dave's video when he was getting on the plane to TCU, I think he thought he was suspended. Dave was like, you suspend me when I'm getting on a fucking plane? You're a coward. And I thought he was talking like as if he was Harbaugh. Like I thought the story.
That did happen, I think, to Harbaugh. No.
Yes.
Yeah, he's suspended.
Yeah.
But
on a plane.
Right.
Okay, so maybe
Which I thought was so crazy when people were
like. Were
like.
they playing in TCU?
No, because the college football show was going to TCU.
Right. So I think
Michigan
Dave.
was going to Penn State.
So I thought he was saying they suspended Harbaugh right when he was getting on the plane. That's a coward move.
They did that.
And he was right, and he was saying it like from a first-person point of view. But then he kept saying, "I'm getting on a plane going to TCU," and I was like, "Wait, that's where they're going." And he was like, "You suspend me when I'm getting on a plane?" And I was like, "Are you talking about your goddamn self?"
But that was the craziest thing with all that when people were like, he doesn't even know until he lands. You bet on a plane?
I was gonna say,
Yeah, you have Wi-Fi on a fucking plane.
Bro,
especially
you
Jim
get
Harbaugh's
Wi-Fi
plane.
on planes now, everybody. Like,
Right.
all the Twitter's like, he's in for a surprise when he lands. Like, no, he's not. He's going to find out
Especially
right the fucking way.
large
Right.
private jets.
Yeah, it's not he's flying on Southwest, folks.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very funny. Dave's being like, we don't need a conference. Like, we'll be like Notre Dame. Fuck the Big Ten. Let's just leave. And it's the greatest thing that you can have. Like somehow all of a sudden, one or two best teams in the country is now the victim and the underdog. I'm sure he'll sell 1 billion T-shirts. They'll probably. If you don't think that Michigan's winning the title this year, you do not know sports. You do not know history. You do not know Barstool. Yeah.
The second it was always in the writing was in the stars, but like when JJ McCarthy just tweeted bet, I was like,
It's on.
this is the I would give anything to have like a rallying cry like that.
It's the ultimate bulletin board material where it's like, you didn't really do anything wrong, so it's not like you're.
Technicality.
Yeah, and so you really the bulletin board material wasn't really earned, but now you get it in spades, and you're already good. It's
Now,
not
to be
like-
fair, it doesn't help to go out the day after you tweet bet, and I think JJ McCarthy was like 6 for 8 for 40 yards or something.
Yeah,
like
bad
that.
game. What was the final of that game?
I think they won by like 2 touchdowns, maybe.
I don't know.
Like
I think
They handled their business.
Was it, I thought it was like 24-10. But this,
Maybe
and then you get an unreal quote like this: Harbaugh sounds raspy, but insists he's not sick. I'm the iron wall that viruses bash against and shatter. I'll do some more push-ups and eat an apple.
Wait, that's not like the Onion? Is that on a T-shirt?
I'll
The
do
Iron
some
Wall?
more push-ups and eat an apple. I'll be fine.
What does the shirt say?
Good Lord.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm the Iron Wall with like an apple as like the A or something. Gonna sell 1 billion. That guy.
He gets to defend the wall back.
Can we play? Yeah, literally
Holy
wall again. Can we play the clip of the assistant coach crying? This is sports, man.
It's like that. That's like that general who said, "the I keep the enemies up at night."
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah.
talking about? Like during the Iraq War.
Yeah, this is war for these guys. Play the dude crying on the sidelines after the game when they won was it is.
I've only seen the clips. I actually haven't seen the stills. I haven't seen the.
Oh, this guy is unbelievable. Like he's literally.
Jerome, what does it mean to you?
I thought it was a joke.
I want to thank the Lord. I want to thank Coach Harbaugh. Fucking love you, man. Love the shit out of you, man. This is for you. For this university, the president, our AD. We got the best players, best university, best alumni in the country. Love you guys. These fucking guys right here. These guys right here, man.
Is this guy drunk?
These guys did it. These guys
I mean,
did
they're
it,
winning the
man.
championship.
All to him, man.
But also, again, this
Thank
is
you,
not
Coach.
who'd they play? It was like a
Was it
top 10 team?
Yeah, no, they played Penn State.
State.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. Okay, so that is a good win, but still, I fucking love the shit out of you, man. It's like he's not dead. He's not dying of cancer. He just sent a coach to a practice or some shit. I still don't even know what it is. But yeah, like bet the rent. It's just.
I'll do some more push-ups and eat an apple. Is
You know, he's
the
gonna drink some
greatest
milk. He's gonna be in
fucking
the
thing.
khakis.
He really is almost like a character of a football coach brought to life. Like
Really?
he is the quotes.
He is, I think, like the original football guy in my mind. I guess it was more Coach O, but I always think of Harbaugh when I think of like the joke coaches.
I love that though. Sweat it out.
Also a
Sweat it out.
great
You're
coach.
sick. Go sweat it out.
What?
Like,
And
but
he's got-
also a great coach.
Yeah.
What was
Well, you know,
on
he
PMT
was-
the other day? They had one of the a former Stanford player who I forget, but he had when Harbaugh got to Stanford, he made them stop doing every tradition they've ever had, and he was like, "You guys have never been good. I have to figure out which one of these is making you bad. So we'll start instituting them slowly back." Like, what's the diet? The Whole 30 or whatever, where you like stop eating everything and then
Yeah.
slowly
You got to figure out.
Reintroduce. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you figure out like allergies and shit. It's like an experiment. We got to have a controlled, that kind of shit is amazing. That he still, but they were bad like the last, there was last few years, right? They were like
No, Michigan's been really good.
right, but there was a period of time where Dave like retired from being a fan.
Oh,
of
when he first got
and they were
there,
and
yeah.
Harbaugh was like on the ropes a little bit.
Yeah,
and
but they've turned the corner the last like 3
What is that? Just recruiting?
years.
They just like
They had
got the right guys.
Rich Rodriguez. They sucked. I went to a game there
My favorite, Brady Hoke.
Brady Hoke.
But,
They
or
had
was
some
it Rich
bad-
Rod? One of them,
they've been
Dave was
good.
talking about refused to wear a headset. He didn't wear the fucking headset on the sidelines. That's crazy. So you will see. And then somebody explained to me the Brandon Walker thing. Why was Brandon Walker hiding in the bushes?
Brandon Walker, I think, has just been riding Michigan for the cheating scandal.
Okay. And so Dave is stomping around the campus looking for him and proceeds to find him literally hiding in the bushes. And he's like, ooh, I got you. I can't hear anything there, but I mean, that was.
Just runs and sits in front of a wall.
When I saw like he's got a plate of food stuffed in his fat
Now
hole.
Buckeye Brandon, run. Didn't matter signal our coach, not even fucking there. I'm 10 minutes late. And then we come fucking rip
Dave was talking about like,
Who'd you pick? Who'd you pick? Huh? Who'd you pick?
Poor Brandon.
Yeah, exactly. Buckeye Brandon. Doesn't matter. Signals don't matter when you just fucking muscle somebody. Manny Diaz doing the signal thing. Stuck it up his ass.
Dave can't retire because these things just happen to him where it's like he has to do it.
Yeah.
Like even let's say Dave wanted to, for whatever reason, he didn't, but if he wanted to just be like, I want to have a quiet college football season, like I'll just watch the games, and it's like, no, you have to do this thing now. Like it will always happen to him until he's dead. He's just put on this planet to make content about his sports teams who somehow are always good and always at the center of controversy and need like a rallying like leader, and it's just always going to be him every single time. It's
crazy.
It really is. And then the other thing going on in the football world in Barstool and the football world, Donnie and Billy were playing in the
Ugandan
Super
Football
Bowl?
League.
I think it was the Africa Cup.
Africa Cup.
I don't
American
know.
football in Africa. They ended up they went over there to coach, and then they ended up just playing, right?
Billy played.
Billy played.
Donnie
I mean, by the way, his foot has just got to be
Oh, I forgot he's playing on a broken foot.
like he couldn't walk, let alone play a football game like in the trenches. So I'm sure his foot is like ruined for life.
Beyond repair.
Yeah, like he'll like never walk right again because he played in the Ugandan Africa Cup, but they lost, and I think Billy was. I didn't see any video specifically, but Donnie said.
There's one of him after the loss sitting up by a hotel with this is at blasting country music in the middle of Uganda, just hammering beers because he's depressed. The pool is the shape of a guitar. It's like a hard rock knockoff, and there's Billy listening to fucking
And when you zoom out,
Old Swindell.
he pulls out. There's like, it's just like an African like.
He's just
landscape.
all alone.
Where the fuck is this? It is one of the stranger storylines to ever come out.
I always
I
feel
love it.
bad when people go to Europe or Africa or wherever for content because it's like we miss most of the day. Like most of
Yeah,
it's
the time
happening
is
while
so
we're
different.
asleep.
Yeah.
So like I wake up and I'm like, oh, what the fuck are they been doing? Like you don't really.
And you don't
He was
catch
playing
up.
against Kenya and football.
Like, you're wiping sleep from your eyes and it's like highlights of Billy football running through the mud.
He was showing him how to hold, but he's like the refs won't even know to call this. And there's him like showing how to like get underneath the pad.
Donnie ended up being a line ref because no one knew how to measure first down. Yeah, Donnie didn't play because he would have had to take someone's pads, so he was the line ref. And yeah, he was teaching him how to hold because the refs wouldn't know how to make the call.
They didn't even know it was a rule.
But like, I love this stuff. Like we've been kind of talking about it recently, how much people are not making content and aren't doing things. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you got two guys doing the ultimate content. We'll pick up, we'll go to fucking Africa, we'll play a game that's not easy. So they deserve all the credit. And
That's got to be very frustrating. I don't know, what knowledge of football that they have. I think it's in Uganda
limited.
and Kenya.
Oh my God, look at that sunburn.
But like
Holy shit.
teaching somebody football in 2 days, it has to be.
He would talk into an app that would translate it.
Well, no, they have a team. Like it wasn't like this was their.
Well, I'm okay. Maybe teaching them football isn't the right way to say it. Like teaching
Finishing
them
school
they're-
football.
What you
They're
wanna
the
teach
coaches.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like teaching them your style of football or whatever.
Dude.
Like it has to be with a language barrier. Like this is
Some would say impossible.
an impossible.
Your coach shows up drunk with a broken foot. All right, actually, fuck it, I'm playing. What?
Let's take some calls at any point throughout the show. We got some more topics, but we want to take calls from start to finish on Barstool Radio now. It makes the show better. So you can bring up any topic or chime in on anything you want. Today's calls are brought to you by the Barstool Store, because it's that time of year again. Ugly sweaters are already on sale. We've got Black Friday coming up very shortly, but ugly sweaters are already out now, because you got to get them now so they can have them for your Christmas parties, your holiday parties, Thanksgiving time, winter time. So go to store.barstoolsports.com. We got new hoodies from Bussin' with the Boys, Plan Brie, Nooners, One Bite, Pardon My Take, Spittin' Chicklets, Foreplay, and so much more. You can shop while supplies last. Order today, get them in time for the holiday party, like I said. All available at the Barstool Sports Store. That's store.barstoolsports.com. Also, Nick, if you want to get going in the chat, I know most of the chat is just toxic Barstool haters, but if there are people in there who want to tell stories, ask questions, give us
Tell me my lifestyle is wrong, anything. Let me know.
Is there still a lot of hate?
Not really.
Yeah, I
Not
feel
much.
like, was there ever?
Yeah,
From
maybe in the-
Barstool, I mean specifically Barstool, like was Barstool?
No, it was never too
Yeah.
bad in the beginning, but no, not really.
I have a question from a girl for Meek Phill. I got a
Oh.
DM last night at 1:36 a.m.
That was me.
Is this real?
from a girl, and it says, "Why is Meek Phill not on Instagram, Tommy?"
Yeah, come on.
He is on
let it-
Instagram. He's on every of our social accounts.
I mean, I just don't post on Instagram. I'm mysterious, I guess.
Well, the girls are asking for it.
I'm mysterious.
I mean, 1:36 a.m. DM is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was
she's
probably
thirsty,
want to
bro.
fucking
She's probably all horned
blast
up.
off to Meek Phill.
Blast off to Meek Phill.
You ever think about if you picked a different Twitter name, how, you know, you wouldn't be called Meek the Freak, and the Freaks wouldn't be a thing, and maybe your whole life
thought
would be.
of that, like something dumb I made in high school turned out to be.
Are you a
No,
big
but
Meek? I can't even say it anymore. Like I'm like, wait, who's the rapper? Are you a big Meek Mill fan?
I listened to him, but like.
Yeah,
it literally
that's
was just-
funny when you think about it.
It was
the
just
fact
a
that
joke I made as a handle in high school, and I was just.
yeah,
stuck
but it's just because
with
it wasn't like.
also-
It perfectly suits him.
I guess.
Well, yeah, Meek Phill.
Like, I can't imagine calling you anything.
But when you think about it being Meek Mill, it doesn't fit. But
Yes.
the word Meek and it rhyme. I think of Reek from Game of Thrones, and you're a weirdo, and the Freaks. It's perfect.
Yeah, you nailed it, Meek.
That's me.
What do you? What,
You
how
gotta
old
be
are you?
loving it.
I turned 26 next month.
What would you be doing if you weren't at Barstool? Or what were you doing? Were you doing anything before this? What would you be doing after it?
Well, like,
Burberry lemonades with Obama.
Yep.
so
The weirdest lie in the history of Barstool.
I graduated college in 2020, and I worked like different odd jobs
go?
like here and there. I went to John Jay College for 5 years, a computer science degree that did nothing for me,
Yep.
by the way,
Why 5 years?
because I was awful in school. So,
That's not. A lot of people take 5 years.
but regardless, so
That was so mean.
yeah.
yeah,
It's like, why do you think 5 years?
Why did it take you long?
Well, he went out of his way to be like 4 or 5 years, so I felt
Well-
like there was a reason behind it. Like maybe, I don't know.
Just
got sick
general
in the middle.
stupidity.
lost my train of thought a bit, but I worked. I was like, my
If his answer was general stupidity.
mom's friend got me jobs from different places, and then I can't say where I worked a month before. I quit. I basically quit a job after a month, and then I got.
You can't say.
I can't say what I.
You
did.
Oh, I think it's one of the.
It's like a
teams, right?
public job. Like I could say off camera, but I don't want to like throw them under the bus because
It's
more like
completely not worth all this. If I remember correctly,
Yeah,
there's no
you-
reason to do this whole dog and pony show.
yeah.
None at all.
So
Speaking of the
Like this would
infamous.
hurt the team if they knew you worked
did
there.
You just wanted people to think you worked at the CIA. Like,
Yeah.
Where else could you
Basically.
not?
I think he like worked at like ticketing for one of the teams here, right?
No.
Something like that.
oh, okay.
But why can't you say it?
Okay, I worked for Board of Elections, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Voting.
Board of
I thought
Election.
oh, Kyle used to work ticketing.
Yeah,
It was,
basically like voting machines for like a month.
Oh, so you stole the
So
2020
you
election.
stole.
I
didn't want
You
it.
should have kept it quiet.
He goes, I worked in
Tommy?
Macon County, Georgia.
Nah, but
Probably working for Lion Hillary.
basically I worked.
Yeah.
I worked very long hours. And I was
Crooked
like,
Ted?
I'm not doing this. I quit after a month, and then I got DM to work here. So
There you go. Speaking, we talked about this last week. The radioactive, do not touch, do not air, will crumble Barstool out of order skit aired. If you remember last week, we were talking about how we couldn't air this skit. John and the Out of Order boys couldn't air it because we currently had a advertiser that was involved in the skit. It was goddamn McDonald's, like a fucking impenetrable empire of success.
It takes
and
down
money
McDonald's.
and commerce. That like I can't even imagine what kind of content would need could put a dent in McDonald's.
If we did an hour show today and all we did was trash McDonald's, it wouldn't
Zero
affect
impact.
any of their bottom.
We could make up lies about them, like racially, sexist stuff. We could say they're responsible for like what's going on in the Middle East and nothing.
And people would be like, I want a fucking Big Mac.
Yeah.
Was it
Even when those stories hit, there was another one. It was, I don't know which fast food it was. It was old, but it went reviral. It was a picture of someone standing in the lettuce with their feet, and they were like, "This is what happens."
That was KFC, right? The coleslaw.
Clemmer does the coleslaw.
Oh, that might be what I'm thinking of.
And
Just made me hungry.
those people got found out immediately and fired immediately, and but even that stuff doesn't even affect them, let alone some jokes tangentially related to it. The skit is such a good premise of somebody eating McDonald's in a Burger King and how the friends are feeling awkward about it. Like, dude, you can't do that. You can't bring someone. And it is a weird thing that like you do. It's a very good premise because it's like, yeah, you can't bring that in there when it's like, who's gonna fucking stop you?
Well, the kid.
But the kid too, John.
Michael Greer.
How's your hip?
My
You hurt
hip's
your
fine.
hip?
My hip's fine. I mean, I'm obviously completely fine.
But like you took a bump for that, and that's like I remember doing.
The guy walking by was like, "What the fuck are you guys doing?"
John, the premise is he brings a McDonald's and he says, "What's going to happen?" And the king pops up and puts him in a headlock. It's Greer, and John like sold out for this scene. He throws him out, and John, this is so good. Watch this. Right there is for a fucking mid-30s guy is not going to feel good.
Did you explain to this Burger King like what you were?
No, dude, but I loved it.
Other thing is
we were so nervous.
It's a show for them.
Yeah.
They're like,
We were so nervous going in. We were like, we got to be quiet. Like Sass was like, "Do you guys stop yelling? I'm eating McDonald's." Because like we were feeling awkward. We were like,
Right,
it's an
right.
awkward thing. And the people at Burger King, I mean, just could not have cared less. like we had cameras, we had a full shoot.
Like, I got an hour
we were
left in my
being-
shift, dude. I don't give a fuck what you do.
Yeah, we went in like we gotta be quick, we gotta be quiet, we gotta be this, we gotta be that. They didn't give.
I thought that
all
was
the fuck.
one of your best skits. The way when they're like, "Shh, dude, I'm not talking about."
How many takes of getting tossed out did it take?
3. No. I think I only went flying once, but Greer. We had never talked what Greer was gonna do to me, so I had no idea like that chokehold was coming.
It was good.
We probably
got you. I felt like.
I didn't know it was coming.
Yeah.
It was I was just actually put into
And you see the food fall out of your mouth. Just the little details.
I'm imagining like a family sitting 2 tables away.
Were there people?
Kid being like, "Mommy, why is the king strangling that man?"
There was a woman, a Burger King employee, on her break at the table over. Didn't care.
What was she like? Were they watching it though, or was she just like whatever? Like,
On TikTok.
You cannot underestimate people's indifference to other people in the world. Like,
I mean,
they
like,
just care about
If
themselves.
someone has like 3 cameras, we didn't have like tripods or anything, but you'd think they'd be like, what is happening? Eventually, towards the end, one of the guys came over, not in like just in like, oh, what's up, guys? Like, what are you guys doing? Not like, what are you guys like? He was like, you guys doing like a school project? And we're just like, yeah.
Every now and then you'll catch like a bar manager. We've had this happen before. Hurricane O'Reilly's. I wanted to film a video at Hurricane O'Reilly's when we were in Boston for the infamous Feitelberg rumor, and the owner was like, "Nah, we can't have that." And I was like, "Really, dude? Like, really? Like, I think that would actually be like good promotion." Like, and he's like, "Nah, like the owner wouldn't like that or whatever." I'm like, "Get the fuck out of here."
You asked?
I did. Because, well, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. Me and Pavs or Jackie, I can't remember who it was. One of them. We were going rogue. We were like, let's just walk in and go to the bathroom. But I think
definitely Pavs.
Pavs. I think I had filmed a thing outside. I was doing it like I think I did it like a news coverage, like, here we're at the scene of the crime where the thing happened. And then I was like, fuck it, let's just walk in and do it. And they like saw him with the camera or whatever it was. And then I had to ask, and then they said no. And I think I remember being like, for real? You're really not gonna let me do this? So we just like filmed it inside of a bathroom here when we got back to be like, we're in the bathroom, whatever. But I'm like, I guess people are just so afraid of losing their jobs and shit that I guess.
Not a BK, they're not.
Not a BK.
I'll go work at McDonald's.
Yeah.
If anything, like I thought it was pro McDonald's, like sales.
That's what I said. I was like, the king murders somebody. So I think McDonald's comes out looking pretty
And like
good.
John the whole time is like, I want McDonald's, it's better. And they were like, McDonald's can't have that.
I mean, I get like, you know,
I don't. I
obviously
do not get it.
both sides where it's like, I don't want to have the emails. Like, I get it. You don't want to have your job harder. That makes sense.
But like, I don't get it. We are making up, unless I am just horribly informed and they can be like, boom, here's all the times we've lost a sponsorship because of this, and this, and this, and then I'd be like, okay, I get it. But you cannot, in this industry, live in like, and operate in fear of what might happen, unless it's colossally stupid. You can't do it, and we're going to like, you know, fall off if we do, because you lose your edge. You don't put out shit fast enough. You don't cover the right topics, and it's like, I don't want to be dramatic about it, but there is. You know, I think I did 3 1 Minute Man videos that all got turned down last week for ads, and none of them I thought were like, I wasn't like, oh yeah, I was being an asshole. They were all regular topics, and I'm like, I don't want to do these anymore. I can't. I'm doing this work, and then it just for
Like
nothing every
the
time.
topic was turned down?
Yeah. It was like, one was like, I think the word sex was like in it, but it wasn't anything vulgar. One was like. Energy drink. We have a problem putting up energy drinks on social media now. That was a thing. It's like, it's either the sponsor.
Social media also needs to chill.
Or the social media.
Guidelines.
Yeah, like that. So it's one or the other. Either, you know. And I get these, like, I think the social media thing is a little more real than I initially realized, where it's like, I'm like, really? Instagram's gonna find that like we put an energy drink on this one video, and it's like, yeah, they're going to. So that sort of stuff. At first, I was like, let's just do it. Like nothing's gonna happen, and they're like, we know it happens all the time.
Like you should
the
be able to
sponsorship shit is crazy. Like that McDonald's doing an ad with Pardon My Take is somehow gonna be influenced by, again, what I think is a positive skit towards McDonald's, but at the worst, just like a skit about McDonald's. I want your next skit should be like, let's find someone at McDonald's and call them and email them like, have you seen this? What their reaction is, because they're gonna go, I don't fucking know what this is. Don't even understand.
This is a
what
prank call. Leave me alone.
Have Ronald McDonald watch the video and see how good it is.
It is that one was particularly, you know, I'm like, sometimes I know I'm hard on sales. I'm sure there are times where like you're an idiot, you don't know what you're talking about. But boy, oh boy, if we can't talk about McDonald's. What if the next day we were on KFC Radio and I was like, I don't like McDonald's, I like Wendy's better. Would that have been like, stop the presses, take that podcast down? That kind of shit happens all the time.
Yeah, I don't know. Or if there was like a dog walk draft on like fast food and it got taken too late.
There was one time there was a dog walk that was very specific about one of our food sponsors. That was a very big sponsor. Dave was like, are you guys out of your fucking minds? Because it was like the specific food that it was bad. But in general, like, I don't know, you live long enough to become the villain sort of thing, where it's like, all right, I guess.
That's why I don't like having sponsors on my content. It opens up a whole new possibility.
That's the way I roll.
We've said that before, where it's just like, if you want to break it down literally, like, is a joke worth it? No,
none of them are, though.
Exactly. None of them.
Nothing we do is worth anything.
I went through a period of social media with that. I really don't tweet like I used to anymore. Like, I'll still tweet enough, but I'm not stirring the pot. I'm not doing what I used to do for multiple reasons. Like, you go crazy. But I also went through a period of like, is it worth it? And the answer is always no. And then I came back around where it was like, but the reason why I even had like all these followers is because I used to say this shit back in the day and people liked it. So none of this will ever be worth it. If you really talk about the potential.
Life is not worth it.
For real. Any fallout from Tommy being anti-evolution? Yeah. That was. I mean, there is.
People did not like that. I mean,
really?
Some people were like, finally, like Barstool has a brain.
People didn't like it, like thinking like this is like dangerous to put out there, like for
people. Some people were like, I'd say there were 3 camps. Some people were just like, oh, this is funny.
Yeah.
Some people were like, this is finally like what I've been saying. Like, thank you. That was Mike Greer. And then there were some people that was like, this is so fucking stupid. I can't take you seriously anymore if you're that stupid. It's like, you people should kill yourself.
Those are also the people, if you said to me, like, okay, truly explain evolution then. Like, tell me, like,
Right.
make me, you can't just say like, oh, we came from primates or whatever, like, because you don't fucking know either.
No,
Well, we are like
and it is a theory. Evolution is a
definitively
theory.
getting bigger, smarter, faster. So we are by
like, that's what I'm saying. Is, like, I believe
evolving.
in that. What really my beef is mainly with the Big Bang Theory. But also
That
the
is being
idea that we
proven
came from like
not true.
yeah, or also the idea that we came from like little newt fish. That's where all I'm saying is I say, wait, now hold on a second. I'm just saying that like you can't, really what it boils down to is you can't be like so arrogant and be like, there's no chance God is real. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You're an idiot. And then one breath later be like, so yeah, the universe started with one little speck of explosion, then we became fish and humans. Both require a leap of faith.
You've been sitting on this one for a while. I remember you bringing this up during the
You're worked up.
Yeah,
It's still
both. All I'm saying is both require a leap of faith, and neither can be proven without.
I like to ask people,
that crazy to say.
what do you think? And I think maybe I have your answer. What do you think right now is the Earth is flat, and the sun revolves around the Earth of today's time? Because like there is something that you would be like, Galileo and those guys were called like idiots and were like blackballed and like you're so stupid you can't even be a part of society anymore. And then he was right. And there's I think every chance it could be like, yeah, we didn't come.
Oh, by the way,
And we're banned.
The spider just came up to me. She just goes, "What's up, you fucking vaccine?" And I never heard that before, and I thought it was the funniest thing I've ever heard.
Spider the bully.
That's great. Fucking vaccine. I love that. Let's see what we got for calls. I think a couple are on the line. Yeah, let's get into calls. I encourage you to call. The show is better when people chime in and chop it up. So let's go right to Tony first. What's up, Tony?
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
I have a question. I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. What you got?
All right, sweet. That's good. Listen, I have a question. 20, 30, fucking 50 years down the road, when you see Barstool as it was, as it is right now, do you think that, would Barstool ever dissolve and people would go their own ways in the future, and it would just be this great, like, just blast and force of a company that it has been the last 20 years? Or would Barstool just be passed on to somebody else and, be like a generational kind of company?
It's a good question. I mean, I
don't totally understand the question.
It's just, what's the future of Barstool? But do you think that, do you think Barstool can be passed down in a sense to, like, if all the major players, we hit fucking 50, 60, Dave's 80, and it's like, we don't want to do this anymore, and now there's a generation of people who were like not a part of the beginning at all, who are just kind of carrying, it's like a Walt Disney thing. It's like,
right.
Eventually Walt Disney and his like team of original animators stopped doing it, but it kept going. And it's this, can that be Barstool?
Elias Disney, by the way, Walt's dad built the World's Fair in Chicago in 1892.
What?
Okay, Frank.
Yeah. John read this book about the World's Fair. And now he's
just a little fun fact I picked up.
He's
Elias used to, as he was building the World's Fair, he used to tell his son these tales of these magnificent buildings he was building, and Walt took great note of that and built it himself for the
Honestly,
screens.
that's very
great.
linear. That's very relevant.
There you go. I don't know. I mean, I think the
Some would say Dave Portnoy's the Walt Disney of sports, I guess.
Oh, do not say that again. Are we on a 7-second delay? Can we cut that? I don't need Dave thinking he's the new Disney. Dave probably doesn't like Disney, right? Disney's a big-time anti-Semite.
Yeah.
I don't think it ceases to exist. I think it's like, obviously, you just bring people in. Like, it doesn't come.
But will
I wasn't going that deep with it.
do you think it'll be like 100 years? Will it be like a 50-year anniversary, 100-year anniversary of Barstool? Does it become a company that is like, obviously it's that point, the way Disney is like fucking parks and streaming services and like you just become media, or will it be a thing that is like, oh man, like a business case study where it's like in the early 2000s, in the first half of the century, it was like this awesome thing, and then it just ended in like a band.
Yeah, but how would it? I mean, I think that this is also now a more interesting. I think like if Dave did not buy it back, Barstool would just end.
So that's what I was gonna say. Well,
piecing off like into different.
I don't know. I think there's two arguments to be had there. I think.
Or would have been looked at as more of a sports book than a media company.
I think it would have done like. I think with the funding, I think the funding is a big deal. I think Penn being like blank check, here you go. I mean, my thought was going to be like, you'll have gambling. I wanted to have a stand-up comedy or just comedy like branch, and then I've always thought we've been missing music. Eventually, maybe you have like almost a music label, and it.
Next Smoke Show episode.
It'd be the beginning of a revolution.
The beginning of that.
But you need like big bucks to fund that, and Dave now being back, I think, is much more like. We're going to keep it in-house. Like now it feels less to me like a chance to proliferate and become this big company, more to be like the family.
Mom and pop.
Yeah. It's a very big, but still playing by the rules of a mom and pop. But unless it is actually, Dave joked about it being like, we're keeping Barstool forever. And when I'm gone, I'll pass it to you guys. And when you're gone, you pass it to Keegan. And I think unless something kind of crazy like that happens where there is almost like a connection to us somehow, right. I think it eventually would.
I would disagree.
Lose its luster.
I think you probably would have said the same thing about ESPN in the '90s. Like without Chris Berman, without Stuart Scott.
But I think it's different because like the owner is like the content. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand that, but I think it would be different, but it would exist.
It is funny to imagine like 85-year-old Dave criticizing like the current 25-year-old staff of
Well, like to go with Disney, like Bob Iger came out of retirement to like right the ship, and he fucking sucked, and it's like worse than ever. And I was reading an article that was like they don't know what to do because they can't like fire him now, and he hasn't really groomed a successor, but they are like in the dumps as far as Disney standards and like But I think we were there was I think what just happened. There was a crossroads where it might have dissolved in a way, and I don't think it would have been like Barstool's done today, but I think if Dave rode off into the sunset, Dan went to Chicago, and Erica went to another company or something like that, I could see it just being like slowly, burn out that way. But I don't know. The fact that Dave is like we can't ever sell it again or even really take on like investment, I think, makes it hard to. I don't know how we would. You got to continue to grow, really. I think it either stays like this and just keeps going.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or to be. I guess my point is, in order to be around for a long time, I think you have to continue to grow massively.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't think we can grow massively as it's constituted right now. So I think it actually kind of just stays. While still a pretty big place, I think it stays more like this than anything.
Yeah, maybe it's more even now.
Yeah.
Should I look for work?
No, I think if anything, it's like everybody's here, stays here.
Yeah, totally.
I guess I just don't know. We'll have to see, Tony, to answer your question in a more succinct way. What does growth at Barstool look like now? How do you, as an outsider coming in, is it just going to be we sign a new guy for like, a starting salary, and we hope that she blows up to be the next Alex Cooper, and you just got to get lucky? Or will there still be like, these people cost like $4 million, $5 million, but we're going to make an investment because we're trying to grow. I think until we
call back in 2060.
I think even call back in like a couple years, and I think we'll have our answer of like, are we going this way or are we kind of staying, more flat?
Dave just needs someone that's like, I don't know, maybe like 20 years younger than him, that's been around the company for a while. Mm-hmm. Maybe like 7 years or so. That could just like,
to
hand it off to.
And to be the CEO?
Just to be like, all right, who's the heir to the throne? Oh, I guess we'll just hand it off to him. He's been around for a while.
You would be the brand, the broken. Like, Tommy's on the throne? Yeah. What? In a weird way, maybe that would happen. By the way, did you see that guy who tweeted out from his canoe? He made.
Yes, the surviving Barstool.
He started to make some
it was at first I was like, this is certainly not the most electric video I've ever seen. He was struggling to remember most of the cast names, but
I did fast forward through that.
Yeah, he got to it, and then he started complimenting me, so I retweeted it.
You for sure loved it.
What did he have to say?
It was a lot about.
I can summarize. I just watched it like before we came on. He said Tommy has got to be like public enemy number one. He said the two main enemies. He was like, do they go after Tommy first because he wins all these things, or do they go after Dave first because he's the big dog? He thinks that Big Cat will rally everybody and like convince everybody to vote for who he wants. Those are like the three people he singled out, and then the girl was like, yeah, Tommy's good at these things. Tommy's good at these things.
Yeah, I liked that video a lot. They continue to do. And I think Survivor Barstool's coming very soon.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, like I know people are like, oh, we're not going to see that until 2026.
No,
Like, it's coming.
To get to the finale, again, it's 3 weeks of 3 episodes, so
It'll all be wrapped by the end of the calendar year.
yes, for sure. So it's.
I think they're outside of the production. I think they're about done.
Yeah. Like,
We were just doing some like little lash polishing, if you will, on, but I think it's all ready to rock. So I hope. I mean, part of me said like we hyped it up, and like there's no way we could. It's gonna reach the hype. But I also forget sometimes that like the edit might be like it was impossible to convey that because of the way we didn't catch that on camera or whatever. So I hope it gets everything there.
Which I think this will be a good show for recaps the next day. There'll be a lot of like, oh, they did get this.
Yes, this I basically think I wondered about doing. I always used to do an after show as a host, like that the night of we do like a YouTube live to discuss it. But I think that's going to be like almost this. I would imagine Barstool Radio is going to transform. Are they? Okay.
I think Kelly Keegs is hosting it with like people from that were on the
original cast.
No. I think that like I think it's going to be if you were a factor in that episode, then you are like.
With like cast members.
Yeah.
Like.
And Kelly Keegs is going to be. Oh, she's going to host it.
Yeah. I think I'm not totally.
Interesting.
Sure. I'm not totally sure.
That's interesting.
I would almost rather have. I think Kelly should do it with
other
like,
people.
Yeah, like Roan or Clemmer or somebody where it's like they break it down. I feel like
I think that should be fans.
It's even going to be difficult for us the next day too, where it's like it's always hard. You got to be very cagey of like
you can't say
what you can say, what you can't say. Whereas like I feel like that after show should just be like breaking it down where like there's no risk of spoilers because there's nobody that was on the show.
Agreed.
But
I think in this show will become a lot, if not like fully, people from here saying what they thought about the episodes and us, trying to convey. So it's almost Barstool Survivor time. It's going to be a good, month or so. Let's take this one last call. Jake from Ohio is talking about Hayden O'Connell. Who is that? Is that?
Aiden O'Connell's the.
This is all spelled wrong. Aiden O'Connell. Yeah.
Yeah, so Aiden O'Connell, like I feel like nobody's talking about him, but he's like the fat Randy of NFL quarterbacks. He looks objectively hilarious. He even has a picture of him on Google Images, says looks like Farva, throws like Favre, and like nobody's talking about it. And he just beat the top 5 defense in the NFL.
Yeah, he did.
This is our new king.
I mean, Antonio Pierce just said, "Fuck it," right? He was like, "We're riding with this guy," and
dude, I don't understand how
he's
Antonio
bad.
Pierce happens.
Yeah.
Like how things like that happen. I feel like they always do when like the asshole gets fired, and it's like this guy was here the whole time.
Yeah.
What do you?
But I do understand how like, especially if it's an asshole, if like, I bet that asshole was like, that guy doesn't get to speak at practice. He doesn't get to. We don't give him any shine because.
But like, how does the owner not realize? Like, I feel
well, it was also like Josh McDaniels was like, the golden boy for the Patriots, and it's like Antonio Pierce was like a linebacker 10 years ago. So you would never think.
Right. But if you're involved in the team, you have to know that he had that kind of out with the team. When he rolled up to the game yesterday in like a fucking, I don't know, some old, like an old classic car.
Antonio Pierce?
Yeah. And it was like Compton's own pull because he's from Compton. And I was like, this dude was there the whole time.
But you know what I wonder?
And you were like, Josh McDaniels, did you take the reins?
I wonder, I mean, obviously.
Now also to be fair, then the game starts and Antonio Pierce is trying to challenge things that aren't challengeable. And
I was going to say,
right,
Antonio Pierce is obviously into coaching. He took, I'm sure his goal was like, I want to become a head coach eventually. But I wonder if he, much like Tommy DeVito, is like, holy fucking shit. I thought I had a little while here, like you said, golden boy and all that shit. To then be like, yeah, there's no way that he knows all the ins and outs the way that Andy Reid or Belichick does, where he's like, yeah, is that legal?
There was a point last night, it was early on, the cameras caught on the sideline where I think it was like a 4th and short for the Raiders, and it looked like, or it was like maybe it was like kind of midfield, it's like what they go for with that. It looked like he walked over to someone asked, got the answer, then said, all right, thank you, and then put the punt team down. Like, it looked like, I don't know.
But that might be part of it, too, if you're a good enough coach and you don't have ego.
Like playing blackjack. Like, what do you guys think I should do?
Yes.
Yeah. What's the book say?
It feels like with Antonio Pierce that he's on like a Coach O arc. Because like, it was Lane Kiffin who got fired to get Coach O's job, right? Or was there someone in between then?
I mean, Coach O took over a bunch of spots.
Yeah.
But his I feel like, and I could be wrong, but I feel like his burst.
Yeah, USC.
Yeah. Like you like this guy was here, and you had Lane Kiffin.
Right.
Out there talking like this. Like, that's your football coach, dude.
Speaking
what are you
of
talking about?
Speaking of Lane Kiffin, we'll wrap up on this. Who are you on, Team Kiffin or Team? What's his name? DeSanto Phillips.
I'm on Team Kiffin.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't know what you guys are doing.
So dude got kicked off the team.
It's the rant.
Suing for $40 million, saying they kicked me off once I told them I had mental health issues, and they countersued, filed a motion to get it thrown out because they were saying he told us about his mental health problems. We are trying to address it and help him, and he just doesn't show up to anything. So, and then audio leaked of them behind the scenes, and he's like, get the fuck off the team. And it's weird because what he's saying, he's correct, but I think the people hear it. He's like, get the fuck out of here. We can kick you off the team.
Well, he was dodging his
calls. Go read your mental health issue.
Yeah.
Go read your mental health rights. We can and will kick you off the team. And so I think people are like, whoa, but then you hear him, he's saying it like he's cursing and he's yelling, but he's like, we've been trying to fucking call you for 2 weeks. Every coach has been reaching out, trying to get you through this. You're not responding, you're ducking us. And then if anything, I think that kid is being an asshole for playing the mental health card, because that is like a stigma of the people who really do have problems now.
He's just not showing up.
Yeah, it's like
and he might be showing. I mean, I've done this. I've been to colleges where I didn't show up, and I wasn't on a team, but I just didn't show up, and I wasn't doing well, and I wasn't telling people, and then when I was telling people, I wasn't getting the help I needed, and they kicked me out of school. And they were well within their rights to do it, and it was probably the best thing for me, and it was probably the right thing for the school.
I hate to say it because it's making a very, first of all, it's a 60-second clip, and it's a very complicated situation that I am making very black and white, but I'm like, maybe big-time college football is not for you. You're talking about millions of dollars, legacy jobs, reputations.
Or maybe pick up a phone call.
Yeah, that too. Show that you're working through it. But I guess their argument is maybe his mental health is so bad that he's struggling to that point. But again, then you need to take a leave of absence. And we're not going to rely on you for the next season.
They have 100 people on their football team.
Yeah, you still maintain your eligibility. We'll see you next season. But this one you need to figure out. So
tricky.
But it's definitely got the college football world. I think they're saying divided, but everybody I'm seeing is Team Kiffin. Now,
based off that
clip, yeah. I mean, if there's more to the story.
It probably is a good thing for the kid too.
To get kicked off.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully he gets the help he needs and all that stuff. But it probably, again, as someone who's been through it in a sense, again, not part of a team, but it was a bit of a shock to the system. Where I was like, okay, I got to get this under control.
Right. All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow at noon on Barstool Radio.